Joe, what did you like in the improvements you guys made against Rutgers?
I liked how we defended the run. I thought our guys came off the ball. I thought we fit the run pretty well, which is a positive. I think you put a team in a position where they're not confident in the run game. That obviously usually bodes well. I thought I saw some good just competitiveness from some guys, which was good to see. I saw some flashes with some younger guys rushing the passer. We still going to be better there, but with Ja Joyner and Danny Strigow, thought did some good things there. So Cody Lindenberg, got an opportunity to get the start, and I was impressed with what he did. So he needs to be able to build upon that. So.
Hey, Joe, Cody and Tyler were talking about detailed preparation and info helping them play faster. As a coach, how do you make sure players are getting relevant, concise info that may give them an edge on game?
Yeah, it's always a fine line. We use the term, and they hear me in particular say this all the time. There's a difference between, assuming and anticipating. And so you kind of get into issues if you assume. And there's been some times in the past where that's hurt guys. But what you got to do is you got to give them information. You got to give them information that you feel beyond a reasonable doubt is reliable, and you feel pretty good about it, and then you pass it on. And you can't really spend time with guys who don't know their assignments inside and out. Because they're just more concerned about getting the call, getting in line, to executing what we do. The two guys that you mentioned are really rock solid with their alignments, their assignments, their responsibilities. So now what you do is you start giving them some information, whether it's down and distance, personnel, formationally. Those are things that they can take and now anticipate things. And, again, you stress, hey, don't assume, because if you assume, you're liable to expose us for an explosive play. But so that's kind of how we do it. And then we give them tips and video and those types of things so that they can kind of prep it.
What went into the decision to give Cody Lindenberg a larger role last week?
His performance in practice and his performance in the games. Each week is its own week, but there's a constant evaluation process that gets made. And he had been doing some really good things, we felt like, in the preceding weeks. And we got into whatever it was, week 7, week 8, and said we felt like we wanted to expand his role a little bit. So we were able to give him some more reps, and we also were able to get Braylon over at Sam and play at the Sam spot, which he's done really well for us in the past. And we felt like that combination versus 12 personnel and some of the bigger people personnel was good for us.
Joe, you're probably getting a variation of this question every week with Tyler Newman's play, but where is he taking his game right now?
I do think it's the anticipation, right? It's the understanding route combinations. It's the what you see off of this. This receiver does this, then that means this one's probably going to do this. I think he tackles well and he blitzes well, but I think you're seeing his coverage really kind of go to the next level, whether it's in a true zone coverage or whether it's in quarters-based coverages. I think he's doing a really nice job anticipating routes.
Just follow up on that. What during the recruiting process, what stood out with him?
In the recruiting process, the things that kind of stood out is he was a big corner back then. So he had size and he was very competitive and he was physical. But the thing that really, really attracted us to him was his intelligence and just the type of person he is. He's a phenomenal person, comes from a great family. So when you got a guy with size and you got a guy who plays really hard, you got a guy with ability, and then you combine that with intelligence and character, you feel like there's a very high chance that guy is going to be really good. And, early in his career, even maybe when the results didn't bear that, we always felt that way because of those intangibles. And I think everyone's getting to see that now. So,
Was the anticipation really on display at that first interception?
Yeah, the first interception, we were playing quarter, half, but there was a disguise on where we were kind of sugaring to the post to kind of, give the illusion that it was man coverage. And, the quarterback came back and thought he had a one-on-one and wanted to throw it over the press corner. And Newman was able just to kind of come across and and go up and intercept it and get a foot down. So, yeah, that was good to see.
How would you assess the pass rush right now from your interior guys?
Better. It's got to be better. We got to create more push. We need to get the pocket to collapse. And as we do that, I think it'll actually give our edge guys even a better chance, because when the quarterback can step up, the margin for error that an edge guy has is much smaller. When there isn't the ability to step up, okay, then that enhances the edge rush. And when the quarterback does step up, that's when the defensive tackles oftentimes get their opportunities. So we've been communicating that to the players, and we need to see that kind of continue to improve.
What's your view on Nebraska's offense and their explosive plays?
Yeah, I mean, they in the last 2 games, they've had 11 explosive plays. They had 8 versus Purdue, and they had 3 versus Illinois, and they had 3 versus Illinois in the first 25 plays, which is against a really good defense. So that is a high level of concern for us. It's very high on our list of things to be aware of, the explosive plays that they've been creating, because in that first half, if you just look at last week, in those first 25 plays, they were moving the ball, they were scoring points. In the last 25, the explosive plays, weren't there at that level. And so when they're humming, when they're moving, they create them. And I've been really impressed with the quarterback. They have great speed and athleticism at receiver. The tight ends are all capable in the passing game. They have really good complements at tailback, and they play a couple different guys there, and they have a good mix of speed and size. So they're a very dangerous offense. I think Coach Whipple does a great job. I have tremendous respect for him. He doesn't know me, but as a Northeast guy and being up in Maine in the CAA, and his time at UMass and the places that he's been, have a tremendous amount of respect for what he's done in his career. They've been really impressive, in particular the last couple games, and moving the ball and pressing it down the field. So we've got to be very aware of that.
When you look at Trey Palmer specifically, I don't know that you guys have faced a slot receiver like that this year. How do you try and slow down which is one of the best receivers in the Big Ten?
The thing that really stands out to me is his acceleration. He's got really good speed, and he's able to control it very well. And I don't know if that kind of makes sense, but what I mean is, like, he can be under control, in his break points and out of his break points. But then when he needs to accelerate, he can go from like 0 to 60 like that. And I think that it's, number one, you attempt to simulate that in practice the best that you can. And then there's got to be an awareness of the route combinations and what you're seeing. And then you've got to understand also that the name of the game for us is eliminating explosive plays. So, if someone catches a 10-yard hitch, we can line up and play again. Or if they catch a 10-yard curl, we can line up and play again. You can't line up and play again when one goes for 80 on you. So I think all of those things, but we have a tremendous amount of respect for him. And not only him, but I just really been impressed with their receiving core. They got a good mix of speed and skill. They go up and attack the football. They've caught an impressive amount of go balls and just vertical balls down the field. So it will be a huge challenge for us.
Time for 1 or 2 more for Coach.
Joe, who's out in Monday Night Football on your side of the ball?
Oh, there was multiple guys. I think if you start in up front, I think Anthony Smith did some really good things. Saw him flash a little bit. Devin Williams flashed a little bit and made some nice plays. Stephen Ortiz made a couple nice plays in the back end. So it's there was a lot of guys. So it's fun. It's competitive. The players like to get out and compete. The guys who maybe aren't taking reps on game day. And then the older guys like to get involved too in a coaching role. They're out there and motivating the guys, and there's a little back and forth banter between the offense and the defense based on who's having success and who's not having success. So it's something I think that's fun. It keeps developing some of the depth of the team, but also is something that the older guys kind of take pride in. So.
Did you get to tell Harris Simiak your thoughts on his beard?
I did not. There was limited opportunity in pregame to have correspondence. So
Fair enough.
Is that what you're going for now with?
Yeah, you trying to rival him?
me?
Yeah.
No, me. The most honest answer is we are in the home stretch of the season, and I'm starting to look like hell. I don't know any other way to say it or verbalize it, but that's really what's going on here. So we get a little bit later in the week. I'll get it cleaned up for game day.
Anything else for Coach Rossi? All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.